So these are things I just kind of need to talk about, but I tried to make it fun. There's memes. So I'll tell you the meme and then we'll talk about what's on that slide, because I know it's boring listening to a teacher. But I will, of course, give you candy for more sitting and listening, and I really, really appreciate that. So, what gives people feelings of power? Money, status, and label makers, right? I feel powerful. So I know I said it yesterday, but just a really good reminder. And let's be real. Probably, I would say 25% of the information that I made you learn yesterday, you probably forgot already, and that's not your fault. That's just how learning works. But that's why there's labels on everything. So that you really will. You'll see kids sometimes stand up and they're just standing over there staring at the cupboard. And that's because they're reading the labels, which is perfect. That's exactly what to do. Me vibing to my own playlist, knowing it's a masterpiece. So here's the rule, okay? Because me as a person versus what I have to do because it's the rule at school. So the rule with music, you can listen to music, and in creative writing it works especially well, especially if the music doesn't have words. Sometimes when you listen to music with words, it can really distract while you're trying to type. But you can listen to music, sure, but it can only be from your Chromebook, because I can't let you listen from your phone, okay? And then, it's supposed to be, okay, we're okay for this for a second. Technically using my headphones, but then I have been hearing from students, like Mr. Whale said that if it's AirPods but it has a cord, right, like that's fine. But if it's, technically, I think the rule is supposed to be it's only the teacher's headphones, but I'm gonna go with what Mr. Whale has been telling people, where as long as it's not AirPods with no cord, then you're fine. Also, just so y'all know, I have a music module that will be in Canvas that you can access at any time as well. And hack that you can use as well. So last year, it wasn't working when kids put a YouTube video on a Google slide. But then this year, apparently it's working. So that's a great way to make a playlist of music that you love. Just be careful. If you're just sitting and watching the video, that's not allowed. But if you're just listening to the music, then that's okay. Okay, so this is one of the reasons I'm having Abigail record. So if you'll sort of like pan around, because I'm gonna show this. This is another silly thing, but sometimes kids don't realize all of the places that they can charge their Chromebook, and especially by 5th period. Your Chromebook by 5th period might be dead, even if you charged it all night long. And the Chromebooks are getting old, and so I think it's important that we know where you can charge. So everybody over here, there's an outlet here, and there's an outlet here, and the extension cord can sort of reach over in this area. And then everybody over here, you can charge right here. And these spots on this side and back here, they're actually empty for a reason. It's so that when people need to move to charge, there's a space for them to move. So ask me first, because especially the people in the middle, right? Where do I charge? So ask me first, but then I'll let you move, and then you can charge over here. And sometimes someone might come sit next to Abigail, and there's a bunch of outlets right back here. And then everybody over here, there are like 7 plugs right behind my desk. And then on this side of the room, there's 2 special things. And, okay, so this one tricks people because kids will use it and plug it in, and then they're like, it's not charging. So I know this is stupid, but that light has to be on. So let's pretend that like Anna, she wanted to charge. So we would just let it sit right here so that people can easily step over the cord. And then the only thing I need people to do is at the end of the period, I really do need you to be responsible, which I know you will be because you are mystical, magical unicorns of awesomeness, but I need you to put it back in its hole, okay? And, okay, this is the last one. So same thing, this yellow extension cord, this one can reach anybody over here. There's only one outlet on it, but it can reach you and stay on the floor. And then everybody up here, there's one right there. So now you know all the places you can charge. And your teacher, when you forget your Chromebook. I don't actually feel that way. I was just trying to find a meme that matched. So I know a lot of the 6th graders, this kind of shocks them because most of the 6th grade teachers don't do this, I think. But it is kind of a little bit challenging as a teacher to make sure that all your Chromebooks stay in your room all the time. And so because it's a little bit of a hassle, which is not the end of the world, that doesn't mean I don't like you, but I will charge you 10 coins if you need to borrow my Chromebook or my charger, which I know sounds like a lot. So if you bring your Chromebook and your charger, I will never charge you a single coin. That's the trick. And a lot of kids don't bring their chargers, but it's probably a good idea. Because like I said, your Chromebooks are getting old and they're not holding a charge as long as they used to. Okay, so everybody look, okay? This, see how it says ask first. So if you need a Chromebook or a charger, I will absolutely say yes, and then I'll tell you to sign out. So you put your first and your last name, the date. Everyone point, where would I find the date? Nope, where would I find the date in the classroom? Yeah, over by the National Day or on the calendar, good. And then you tell me if it's a Chromebook or a charger, and then at the end of the period, you say, yes, I put it back. This, I felt so bad doing it, but I warned my classes. There was a kid last year, he took my Chromebook and then kept it for 3 days, and I had 3 days of panic. I lost a Chromebook, I'm gonna be in trouble. So if every class period you borrow my Chromebook for, if it's accidentally, it's 10 coins per class period. And so he got charged, thank you, he got charged 180 coins. These kinds of requests make me really happy. I don't have Gorilla Glue, but I'm gonna send you with a hot glue gun and see if that works for whatever she's trying to do. There was a teacher. Teachers know about the drawer requirement, so someone was asking if I have a certain thing. If not, tell her I also have super glue, if she needs that instead. Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. And there was a kid one year who didn't realize he kept borrowing a Chromebook and a charger every single day, and he didn't realize it's 10 for Chromebook and 10 for a charger, so he was getting charged 20 coins. But again, I will never charge you a single coin if you just bring your own Chromebook and your own charger. Yeah?
What happens if you're broke?
Then I print out the assignment for you, and you just do it on paper instead. Yeah. But again, just it goes back to being responsible, right? And being a prepared student. Waiting for your teacher to update your grade, please. I'm really fast at updating grades. And so you'll see your grade starting next week. We have lots of assignments in my class. They're easy, right? But we're gonna have a lot of assignments. They go on your grade. You'll see your grade change all the time. And so I recommend, if you check your grades multiple times every single day, it's probably gonna drive you crazy. I recommend picking 2 times a week. Check your grades twice a week, okay? Just keep grading, grading, grading. Okay, so late work. Late work does not mean you're in trouble. Most everybody turns in a late assignment at some point or another, and it's not a huge deal, okay? But I have a lot of students who are doing extra work, and it makes me feel bad because I'll get kids who turned in an assignment late, and then they email me to say, hey, just so you know, I just turned in that assignment, which is fine, but honestly, that's way more work than you need to be doing, and I want to show you why, okay? So you guys have your own to-do list. Let's see my to-do list. There's 2 things on it right now, but I'm gonna get those graded right as soon as school ends. So I am really good at grading really fast. You will not have to wait very long at all. So if you email me, you're really just doing an extra unnecessary step. But the trick is that Canvas will send all the grades to Skyward every night at 10 p.m. So I might have graded it 15 minutes after you turned it in, but then you won't see it updated on Skyward until after 10 p.m. But here's the kicker, you guys. If it's been more than 2 days and you didn't see your grade get updated, something went wrong. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So if it's been longer than how many days? 2. Then I want you to tell me, because we need to investigate and see what went wrong. Okay, you go to school, and it feels like nothing happened. And why did I waste all that time if nothing even happened? But then you missed just 1 day, and there were 6 fights, and he's a rapper. Tupac comes back from the dead. The school had a blackout, the power went out. Beyonce performed in the cafeteria. I know it's really hard to be absent, but it's gonna happen to all of us. You're gonna get sick sometimes, I'm gonna get sick, you might go to Disneyland one time, right? Like, it just, sometimes you're just not gonna be here. So, it's pretty easy in my class to get to know what you missed. And I wanna show you this, okay? So, on Canvas, so everybody look up here. So, you know that it's my Canvas because there's my face. And you're like, oh, I'm in the right place, and there's me. I also, while we're on the subject, I wanna point out, most kids scroll past it, which is totally fine, but this is the Creative Writing 1 helpful information box, and there really is some helpful information. Like there's my email, and if you ever want to ask for help but you feel weird asking, this is a private way to ask. There's the late work, all sorts of helpful information. But if you scroll past it, this is what we're doing every single day. So it's not a secret what we're doing. I keep this updated, and just like awesome Miss Abigail is doing right now, usually, like we have one person absent, so usually I will record the lesson if somebody's absent. But if you are absent and you don't watch the recording, you're probably going to be confused, just to be really, really honest with you. I've had kids who try and jump into doing the assignment without watching the video, and then they email me and they're like, I'm confused. And then I say, did you watch the video? Because really, you will be confused if you don't watch the recording, okay? The other thing I like telling kids, well actually, hold on, I'm gonna wait until we get to the other slides. Okay, we're almost done, stick with me. Rewards are coming, you're doing a beautiful job. Me typing a formal email to my teacher, I'm doing it all nice and proper and beautiful, and then the teacher just responds with, yeah, okay. Which is really just making fun of how busy teachers are. So I love emails. So many of you have emailed me in the past couple of days, like these wonderful, awesome, nice emails, which is great. And so you are welcome to email me whenever you want. But just know, I am super, super crazy busy. I'm kind of not like a normal teacher. I mean, yes, there's ducks and that's not normal. But I'm also not a normal teacher because, so I teach Creative Writing 1 and Creative Writing 2. And Debate 1, and next semester I also have Debate 2. And Debate is honestly 5 classes in one because there's 5 different types of debate. So I work all day, then I go home, and then I work for 4 more hours, and then I go to sleep, and then I come back to school, and then I do it all again. I work, I go home, I work for more time, and then I sleep, and then I come back. I'm super busy, which is fine. But if you email me, it's honestly just the slower method of getting help. It's way faster to just wait and ask me during class, just so you know. Yeah.
And adding on to your busyness, 6 pets.
This is true, but that's joyful too at the same time. The locked classroom door. And then there's me, let me in! So, I am not a full-time teacher, which I love. Mr. Gardner gave me the choice. I get paid less than everybody else, but I get to sleep in every day. I used to wake up at 4:30. I don't have to wake up at 4:30 anymore, because I don't get here until halfway through first period. So you guys are already here, and I show up at 8:30 is when I show up. I know, but I get paid way less than everybody else. So if you ever come before school and you're like, Mrs. Coates, I know you're in there. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not hiding from you. I'm just truly not here, and I'm sorry. I-10 has hall pass, please. So I know teachers have been talking your ear off, and I'm not going to talk about it, hardly at all. There's like 2 things specific to my class, because I know y'all know how to scan in and out. You just need to know that we were assigned the red commons, right? So when you scan out, it's going to ask you which bathroom. That's the one we got assigned. I know we're halfway through. We're really equidistant between 2 bathrooms. But if you are in a different bathroom and they see you with this hall pass, they know this is the red commons hall pass. And they will ask you, why are you wandering? You're supposed to be in the red commons restroom. Yeah.
Where is the red commons?
So if you go out towards the commons, it's just right on the corner of the commons. Like if you're walking to the library, it's just right there. Yeah, great question.
So I went to the wrong one last time.
But it's still a practice week, so it's fine. So the process of using the bathroom, very honestly, if you go in the middle of me talking, you're absolutely missing important information, okay? But this is the last sitting and listening to Mrs. Coates yap at me for an hour day. We're done with those days. A normal day for us is I give you like a 20-minute lesson, and then you have time to do fun creative writing, and often with a partner. So on a normal day, if you can just wait, if possible, until I'm not talking, that's the best time to go. But I will always say yes anyways. Grab the hall pass, hold it up. If I'm not paying attention, like let's say I'm back talking to Abigail or something, and you're trying to get my attention and I am deaf and can't hear you, literally yell at me. Coates! I'll give you the nod, and then go scan out. And there was a kid 2 days ago who didn't scan back in. Again, it's a practice week. It's fine. But if you don't scan back in, the office is going to think that you're just trying to not be in class, and then you're going to get in trouble. So scan back in. And that's that whole process. Okay. Takes only hall pass. walks around school for an hour, especially at the end of the day. 5th and 6th period are the hardest parts of the day. People desperately need to use the restroom. They've been waiting. And so, please don't be the kid who's just wandering, because number one, you're gonna get yelled at from like administration, and number two, everyone's gonna be like, where's the hall pass? So, but there are 2 times, there's 2 times I don't want you to ask. I don't want you to even try and scan out, focus guys, focus. I don't want you to even touch the hall pass. It is a little bit crazy, and this is kind of gross, but it's important that I say it. I have taught at Albion for 15 years. No one has ever thrown up in my classroom, knock on wood, ever. That's unheard of, you guys. So, but I do want to make it clear, no one can control when they get sick. This might be the year someone throws up in my class, oh well. But there was a teacher many years ago, and he got famous for kind of a gross reason. There was a girl who was talking to him in his office. It was the choir office. And she didn't know that she was sick, and it just hit her all of a sudden. She just threw up all over the office. And then he was like, well, can somebody carpet clean? And he found out the sad way, they don't carpet clean until summer. So he had 6 months of his office smelling really, really gross. So I know it sounds really silly, but I'm for real, you guys. If you feel like you might throw up, I want you to actually try and run into the hall. Because if you throw up in here, whatever, if it happens, but you could throw up all over the hallway. Lockers, floor, and it doesn't matter, because they can clean it up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? That's no problem at all. So, just try and make it into the hall if you can. And then I always tell this story with the bloody nose. 2 years ago, it was in the middle of 4th period, and these 2 kids on opposite sides of the classroom, all of a sudden, both of them stood up and ran out. And I was like, what, is there a fire? What's happening? I was so confused. I called the office, and I was like, I need help, where did these kids go? Turns out they both got a bloody nose at the exact same time, which is kind of statistically amazing if you think about it. So the only thing I ask for a bloody nose, don't try and go ahead and scooch all the way, because you keep turning around and talking, which is really distracting for poor Anna, who's trying really hard to pay attention. Okay, so don't touch the screen and scan out, guys. We don't want your blood on the screen. We also don't want your blood on the hall pass, because blood can sometimes contain disease. So literally just go, and if possible, shout at me. Bloody nose! Okay, but great, okay, so we're done with those. You're the school bully? Oh wow, your parents must be so proud of you, sarcastic. It's the only thing that makes me actually mad. I will always be, I try and go out of my way to be really nice to you, and I try and be respectful, and even if I'm mad, I'll still be calm and happy. But truly, I got bullied so bad in middle school, none of my teachers cared at all. They didn't even try and stop it. So it's the only thing that makes me actually mad. So just be nice to each other. I want you to look forward to 5th period. Don't be mean to someone on purpose. When your friend gets to leave class early and you're like, don't leave me, it's the only other thing that sort of drives me crazy, but it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I'll still like you. But it makes me panic just a little bit when someone opens the door before the bell has officially rung. Because in my mind, I think, they're trying to escape. Because I have gotten in trouble before that a kid left my class early. So, the Amazon Fairy is here! Yay, Amazon Fairy! So, please leave the door shut. Thank you, Amazon Fairy. Leave the door shut until the bell rings. And then the other thing everybody needs to know, hold on guys, the other thing everybody needs to know, yes, will you, which is amazing, will you put it just on my desk? And Hank is going to be super nice and help you. If you do sneak out of class early, you guys, here's what happens. Hold on, focus on me. I know Amazon is very exciting, but hold on. If you leave class early, there is a camera right outside my door. And it's not like they're going to get on morning announcements and say, good morning, Albion Knights, it's a great day in the kingdom. And guess who snuck out of Mrs. Coates' class early? They don't do that, thank you again, but they do deal with it privately. So, don't leave early because you get in trouble and I get in trouble, just so you know. Yeah.
What if it's like the last couple of days of school, I've heard stories about kids just complaining about trying to go on.
Last days of school are their own beast. So we don't have to worry about them because you are only in my class until like January. But yeah, the last days of school are weird days. Okay, so this is a very, very, very famous story in my class. And I know it's a little bit gross because there's blood, but I also think it's a really important lesson. So this happened 2 years ago. Were any of you in my class? Were you in that class? Like the day it happened?
Oh, yeah, I got blood on my backpack.
Oh, he bled all over my shoes. Okay, so let's back up. This was a red button day. And this kid, he's not in trouble. I really like this student. He's awesome. But sometimes kids do something and don't realize, oh, that might turn out really badly, which is exactly what happened. So if you lean in the chair, I'm not going to fight you on that, but I am warning you, that might go really wrong because it's a chair with wheels, right? So he was leaning, he was actually leaning forwards, and the chair just flipped out from underneath him, and he smacked his head right on the corner. He was actually sitting basically where Reader is. And kind of long story sort of short, I don't know, it was scary because as a teacher I really care about my students and I don't want anyone to be hurt. But head injuries, people get confused, right? Like your brain is just in shock for a second, and so he was trying to stand up and walk, and I was like, no, we don't walk when there's a head injury, and so I was trying to hold him, and that's why I got the blood all over my shoes, which is fine. And then I had to shout, someone press the red button, which they did, and then I said, okay, everyone needs to go wait in the hall, because we need to get out of the way so that when the people came to help, they could get in here quickly. So he's totally fine, guys. He's a very happy 8th grader. He's happy and healthy, and I literally just talked to him like an hour ago. I saw him washing his hands, and I said, I'm so sorry, I keep telling this story. And he actually told me, he said, you know what? I think it's really good that you do, because I don't want it to happen to anyone else. So now you know, right? And that you hopefully won't learn the hard way. Yeah.
Was it the bloodstain so there?
Yeah, so the blood stain was between the 4th and 5th row, because he kind of got up and started walking, and then I said, no. And so he kind of just bled over there for a while, and the blood stain was there for a couple of months, because they don't carpet clean. It's gone now. The blood is gone. They've carpet cleaned many times, and so we're all good. Okay, this one's important. People spell congrats because they can't spell congratulations, which they purposely spelled wrong. So, no, I'm trying to take stress off of you. Spelling, grammar, and punctuation do not count against you in my class. Because it's not an English class, you guys. It's a creative writing class. I'm more worried about what are you writing rather than how are you writing it. So you can turn in assignments every single day with lots of misspelled words and you can still get an A, no problem. Because that's not the goal of this class, okay? Okay, so we're almost done, so stick with me. But I know we talked about AI a little bit already, but I want to talk about it specifically with creative writing, okay? So things you absolutely are encouraged to use it for. Number 1, help getting ideas. It's really good at giving ideas. Number 2, editing your writing after you wrote it yourself. I do that. I'll write a big gnarly email and then think I've probably spelled at least one word wrong. And so I put it in and I say, did I spell anything wrong? And it's really good at helping me edit after I wrote it myself. A lot of kids in creative writing like putting an image on their story, which is not required. But if you ever want to create an image with AI and put it on your story, great. And let's say, I think you asked this, right? Like what if I got halfway through my story and I'm really stuck. And so I'll put a story in AI that I'm stuck on and say, I'm stuck right here. Can you give me an idea or two? Not can you finish it for me? And so on the flip side, if you have it do your writing for you, there's so many kids who think they'll get away with it if they say, but make it sound like an 11-year-old wrote it. No, it does not work. There's things that teachers have that you guys don't know about that we can still catch you. So it's just not worth it. It's just really not, because this sounds scary, but I only had to do this once last year. Okay, so I'm gonna scare you a little bit knowing that you guys are too good and you wouldn't do it. But if you do think that you can get away with it, here are the consequences, okay? Number 1, I call home. And I make sure that your parents know that you cheated. And usually there's really big bad consequences from parents. Number 2, I email all your teachers and say, hey, this kid just cheated, they're probably gonna do it again, so all of us need to be on high alert. And then all your teachers are gonna watch like a hawk. Number 3, it goes on your permanent record. For the rest of public education, every single teacher will see that you cheated, and you don't want that bad reputation. Number 4, you lose all your privileges in my class. Like when we have our class party with crazy and sugar and awesomeness, you don't get to come. So I hate being the bad guy. It makes me feel like a bad person, but I also am supposed to do my job and follow up so that you learn, so that it doesn't affect your future. So just don't do it. And if you are ever nervous, you're like, wait, I want to do this, but I don't want to get in trouble, just ask. Because I think it's better to learn rather than make the mistake and hope that it's okay. When you get in trouble at school and you go home and your mom says, your teacher called. So that leads me to, in creative writing, sometimes, okay, let's say I have these 2 characters, maybe I've got 2 superheroes, and they are in an epic battle of awesomeness. Like maybe a superhero and a bad guy. So sometimes I'll have kids say stuff like, but can I have a fight scene? Like, is that okay? Like, what if he punches the other guy in the face and that guy's bleeding? It's creative writing. It's not real. But the other thing I always tell students is, so my mom was really strict, okay? So I always say it's the mom test. If your mom was sitting next to you, and you were writing your story, would your mom be mad about a thing that you wrote? And if the answer is yes, don't write that thing. But some people are like, my mom wouldn't care, which by all means, then it's okay. Okay, so that's the answer. Do the mom test, okay? It's gonna happen. I usually get sick like the 2nd or 3rd week of school. It has happened to me every single year for the past 15 years. So I apologize in advance. But I put it in my sub plan. Have Abigail pass out as many sub coupons as she possibly can. There was one time I got back from a sub from one day, and every single kid had 12 candy coupons. So guess how many pieces of candy every single kid got? 12. And then they also had like 17 coin coupons. So my student aide did it exactly right, which was beautiful. And guess what? That sub was like, your class is the best class I've ever seen. It's bribery, right? So I truly think subs have the hardest job in the whole world. So I really try and make sure that their life is easier. Was that helpful? Did it work for her purposes? Yes! I love when I get to help. It's very rare. Usually the bribery works so well that usually I never have a single problem. I usually get subs who write me like a whole novel of like, I cannot believe how amazing your class is, I love this class. But every once in a while there's one kid who thinks they can get away with it and I won't know. But the sub will write your name down. And then really there's just so many consequences that usually kids end up really regretting it. So don't be that kid. And obviously you're not going to be that kind of kid in that kind of class anyways. Yay for rewards! No, Mom, our teacher doesn't give us too much candy, speaking of too many rewards. Why do you ask? So, starting next week, we're going to start having candy drawings every day. But every once in a while, someone steals an extra piece of candy, which is just not a cool move. And here's what I do. So if you steal candy, kids think they get away with it, but I see it happen. And then I just stop calling your name. So I'll be doing the candy drawing and I'll be calling names, and if I get to a name, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, I saw that kid steal candy last week, and then I just won't call your name. You just won't win anymore. So it's not worth it, and I'm gonna give you a lot of candy anyways, so don't steal my candy. And y'all know you can have coins instead of candy, you just ask. Honestly, remember the sticky note on my desk? Grab a sticky note, write your name, tell me how many coins. That's how it works, okay? And the best thing about being on vacation, it's time for more memes. So that leads me to, if you have one of the yellow vacation forms from the office, don't give it to me in the hall. It's just because I have 2 stamps in my desk. So when I get a vacation form, I just stamp. One is my name, and one of them says, follow along with daily class schedule on Canvas. So if you can, when you have a yellow vacation form, give it to me while I'm at my desk. You can even just throw it on my desk, and I'll give it to you by the end of class, okay? I love this meme so much. This is the world's most amazing burger. The teacher says there's no food in class, and then there's the one kid in the back who's like, Okay, so I don't care about food at all. It is absolutely okay. So I just asked 3 things. Number 1, this is a true story. There was a kid, I was in the middle of the lesson, and I'm trying to keep everyone's attention, and he stands up, he was in the middle, and he goes, who wants some Starbursts? I was like, okay, this is going to be the next 5 minutes of my life. So, it just can't be crazy distracting. I love if you share, actually, but it can't be super distracting. 2 days ago, I walked in the lunchroom, or sorry, not the lunchroom, the faculty room at the end of C lunch, and I immediately thought, who ate fish? It smelled so bad, you guys. So if you're gonna eat a tuna fish sandwich in the middle of class, people around you are not going to be your fan. They will be like, this kid stinks. And then, so there was a girl, she was so happy, and I was happy that she was happy. There was someone in second period today, just crunching her way through a bag of Takis. And on one hand, I was like, yeah, get it, girl. But on the other hand, it was like, crinkle, 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 every 5 seconds. And so kids around her were really good, but it probably was really distracting for those kids around her. So, okay, everybody. Another reward, because that was the end of me yapping at you. Does anyone, oh, sorry, that was for 6th period. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry. It's part of the night wait in
Wow.
6th period. Does anybody have questions about the information I just told you? Yes.
I have a comment.
Sure.
If I smell terrible, tell me, because I was born without a sense of smell and I have no idea.
Okay. But we'll tell you in a very, very nice, loving
Yes.
way. Yeah. We would be super respectful about it. Abigail, you can stop recording and then you can put that on my desk. And